Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for asking. I did want to go ahead and say thank you for being so open and honest last week when we talked about all the things that we did. It really allowed me to fully understand where our focus needs to be going forward and like what steps we can take to kind of help you. I do want to say that today we're going to be kind of talking about some of the goals that we can set based on all the things that we talked about last week. And hopefully we can kind of come up with some of these goals together. That way we have a plan of action that works best for you and is obtainable for you. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds okay.
Okay. I just wanted to remind you that here at the Community Resource Center, my job is to figure out these resources and try to like understand what problems you're having and help you navigate these the best way possible to kind of ultimately get to the end goal that we're wishing for. I do want to start by kind of like going over a bit what we discussed last week. To my understanding, we really just discussed the intensity and the history of your addiction and about how you live in the halfway home currently, and your financial situation a little bit about how you're not making as much money as you'd like, and then also some of your support system, which is your best friend Avery and then your Aunt Hannah. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask before we kind of get into it, that way I can understand like what hesitations you're having. Are you having any concerns about setting goals this week?
Um, kind of. I just don't really know the direction where to go. I don't really know what I need to do to get to where I want to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I do want to reiterate to you that that's completely normal, like feeling lost and confused, especially after dealing with like all of the issues that you've had to like overcome. So it's totally normal to feel like stressed out about all of this. But I assure you that I will do everything in my power and the best that I can to kind of help us stay on track with it. Okay.
Okay.
Um, can you describe like what your utmost ultimate goal is for obtaining services here?
Um, my main goal is to get my daughter back, as I've said, and that's like my priority, but also in order to do that, I think my other main goal would have to be sober for
Okay.
from everything.
So, do you think, I know this is kind of like a broad question, but to kind of encompass like what your life would truly look like, if everything were right for you right now, what do you think your life would look like?
I'd have my daughter back and we'd be living with my aunt Hannah in Florida. I'd be sober with a full-time job and yeah, I think that encompasses it pretty good.
Yeah, it sounds like you have some good goals there. And it does sound like it'd be a pretty good life to be living in Florida rather than in Missouri. Um, so, to my understanding, the biggest problem is about your addiction, and about how kind of that sets you back from being able to see your daughter. Would you be interested in taking kind of another approach? It's pretty similar, but um, when like focusing on maybe more of the steps on how to maintain your sobriety, and potentially evaluate your life, your living, and your financial situation. Um, and then we might be able to get more towards that goal of reunification. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So because of this, I'm wondering if our first goal today should be more about maintaining your sobriety. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering what steps do you think we should first take um to make sure that you're staying on top of your sobriety?
Um, do you guys have any resources like AA or anything?
Yeah, actually, so I think it might be extremely helpful if we were able to kind of get you into a support group that we have here at the Community Resource Center for other individuals that are also struggling with their sobriety. I feel like this might be it would kind of conquer a little bit of two things. It might help you feel like you have a better support system here, as well as like keeping you focused on your sobriety. So would you be willing to join a group like that then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I feel like our first step to accomplishing this, there's a list of different groups that we have. Because I am a social worker, part of this is me helping you find these classes and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I submit a list of these classes to you in the next week. And then I feel as if maybe we can meet in 2 weeks, and I can kind of get your feedback on which ones you seem to fit you best. Would that work for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And then how many weeks do you think it would take you to kind of decide which support group you'd really like to choose from?
Probably just about a week after I get the list.
Okay. And then as far as a time frame of like how long we're wanting to work towards your sobriety, do you think 6 months would be a good fit for you?
Yeah, I think 6 would be good. To start off with. Yeah, I think 6 is good.
Okay. With your work schedule and with your living situation, how many classes a month do you think that you would be able to attend?
I think I could do maybe once every 2 weeks.
Okay, so about two classes a month then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Do you foresee any barriers? Oops.
That.
You're fine. Do you foresee any barriers to like being in these classes?
I'm not really open about the situations, so I think as long as I get introduced into it, maybe that would help. But as far as like just being so sorry.
Busy woman, you're okay.
As far as being open off the bat, that might be hard for me to do.
Okay. Well then I think maybe another part of this is just while you are going through these classes and in the support group, just making sure that we are having our meetings so I can make sure that you're still feeling okay about the situation just in case we need to like reevaluate our goal. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And then so just to summarize what we've kind of discussed, so our big overarching goal is to maintain our sobriety for over the next 6 months, correct?
Yeah.
And then our action steps are the first one being that I will get you get a list to you in the next week of all the different classes. And then you'll choose one from the classes a week after that. And we'll have our meeting the same day that list is sent out to you. And then after you have finished signing up for a class to be able to attend 2 classes a month over the next 6 months. Does that all sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. All righty, Sarah. Well, it looks like our first step, it should lead us in the right direction. And then I look forward to being able to meet with you more and kind of redirect our goals if need be, or create more goals so that we can kind of get you into your lavish life in Florida, living with your Aunt Hannah and your daughter. Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.